Hello. Hi, everyone. Everyone can hear me good? Yes? Okay. My name's Michael. I believe how the rest of lunch is going to go, I have a few things that I'm going to say on behalf of TLC, and then Maddie, who is our volunteer coordinator, I'm sure many of you have met her this weekend. Yes, she's going to give some announcements as well. So I'm here to welcome everyone back. It's really exciting to see so many new faces and longtime TLC members. There have been many changes within the BFRB community over the past few years, and I've missed what this conference represents and the opportunity it provides to find community and support one another. And I'm so grateful that we are able to be back together and that TLC has made this weekend possible. So that's wonderful. This conference marks a new chapter for the TLC Foundation. We have new leadership, new faces who are all working together to build an amazing BFRB community, and TLC is working tirelessly to advocate for our cause and building a place for all of us to come together. I've been with TLC for a long time, and I've worn many different hats within the organization, and at our last in-person conference, I gave a keynote about what TLC means to me and how it has enriched my life. So in the spirit of new beginnings, I really wanted to pass the torch to someone else. I just thought, I'm just gonna walk into this conference slowly, quietly, moderate my little session, and fade into the background like a wallflower. Well, any of you who have met me before know that's just not physically possible. I am loud, I am boisterous, and I don't know, I walk into a room and somehow I'm the center of attention. I mean, y'all missed karaoke last night. It was a throwdown. I brought in the big guns. On Monday, I was sitting on a call with some of the other volunteers, and we were discussing this conference, and someone brought up this speech, and a person said, I think we need someone that's very charismatic and likable and can speak nicely and tell an inspired story about TLC and what it means to them. And I sat there and I thought, oh no, they're talking about me. So I looked away from my camera to avoid eye contact, and we sat there and pondered for a minute about who could possibly give this speech. And someone said, Michael, I think you should do it. And so that's how we got here today. But I'm speaking now because I believe TLC is important, and the organization needs our support to continue its work. TLC has deeply shaped my life and the lives of many of my friends and people within this organization who I've become very close to, and I hope this organization can make the same impact on you that it has on me. I found TLC in my early 20s, and at that time in my life, I was hitting a wall. I had been diagnosed with a myriad of mental illnesses all at once, and one of them was a BFRB. That, I would say, was a very low point in my life. I was unable to take care of myself, hold a job, drive a car safely, even leave my house. And nothing really seemed to be coming together. And simple things that when I was like a teenager that I had taken for granted, like walking into a Starbucks and ordering a cup of coffee, was just a privilege that was far out of my reach. My BFRB was taking over my life. My skin picking and nail biting was the worst it had ever been. I lived with great shame, regret, embarrassment, and pain. But there was a silver lining. With my BFRB diagnosis, I discovered that the skin picking and nail biting I had engaged in my whole life, all the way back to my childhood, had a name. It wasn't a personality quirk or a self-destructive habit of my own creation. I had a medical condition that could respond to treatment, and the shame and embarrassment that went along with my disorder was not something I had to accept as a fact of life. More importantly, it was not something I had to endure alone. And this is when TLC came in. I was referred to TLC by my psychologists, who were listed in the provider directory, and I had told my psychologist that I wanted to participate in advocacy for people like me. That in many ways, I felt the only way that I could move forward in my life was to build a large part of my identity around the thing that had almost destroyed me. And I strongly believed, and still do, that if the world had been a kinder, more open-minded place that is less stigmatizing, I wouldn't have had to suffer in silence for so long, and it wouldn't have required a complete unraveling of my identity to get the help that I needed and for my mental health to be taken seriously. So I set out to do something about it. And from day one, TLC gave me a place to advocate, not only for myself, but more importantly, for our community. I started on the Young Adult Action Council and then worked behind the scenes on the IDEA Committee, a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accountability task force we had. And throughout my time with TLC, I emphasized a commitment to building a more diverse organization and expanding our resources to communities that have been long overlooked within mental health and BFRBs. And funny enough, the way I embraced advocacy and destigmatization had become such an integral part of who I was that I had even earned a nickname that some of you may be familiar with. Back in the early days of group treatment, I had so many problems and my mental health was such a buffet of symptoms that in group therapy, everyone called me the Hot Mess Express. And that kind of became like my rallying cry at TLC, and it was a nickname that for a while I wore proudly as a way of self-empowerment and showing the world that I didn't have to feel bad about who I was and that there was power in my story and life experience. But as this weekend progresses, I hope you are beginning to discover that TLC is much more than a megaphone to amplify our desire for a more equitable world, but that TLC is a family, and it is a place to call home. TLC is a special place filled with kind, thoughtful, sensitive people who inspire me every day in the ways they incorporate BFRBs into their lives. And when I joined TLC, they welcomed me in as one of their own. They have mentored me and informed the person I have become today. And as I have grown within the organization and spent time as a member, I've been able to welcome new people in just as I was. And our work at TLC serves as a reminder that we are not alone and we are not the only ones with BFRBs and we don't have to live in shame or silence. But creating a place as special as ours requires commitment. As the world changed over the past few years and TLC along with it, we all discovered that doing what we do, it isn't an easy task and it shouldn't be taken for granted. And I would like to ask you today to donate to the TLC Foundation. So you'll see at your table there's a QR code that you can scan on your phone that it will take you to a link to make a donation, to donate. And any amount is appreciated. There's no donation too big or too small. We appreciate your financial support. As I said before, it's a new day and an exciting time in the BFRB community. New organizations supporting those who experience BFRBs are popping up. Some of them are here with us today. And under new leadership, we would like to continue to work alongside them to create a better world for those who experience BFRBs. And with your help, we can rebuild many of the programs that I spoke of earlier, and we can create new ones. And we can further TLC's mission to bring an end to the isolation and shame for people experiencing hair pulling, skin picking, nail biting, cheek biting, and other BFRBs. This year it's exciting. I'm happy to announce that along with your donation, you will be entered into a raffle for an amazing TLC flavored gift. And so we will pull winners from the list of donors, and we will announce them tomorrow. If you want to donate but don't want to be entered into the raffle, come find us at the registration table and we can take your name out of the raffle. But scan that code, donate, and we will be announcing the winners tomorrow at lunch. And my parting thought for you all today, recently in a BFRB support group with TLC, I had mentioned very casually that I'm very happy to have a BFRB. And some people in the support group were a bit older than me, and they were very shocked that I had that opinion. They couldn't understand why that would be a happy thing. And my response to them, which I want you to walk away with today, is that this community, this BFRB family, they make it more than worth any pain that a BFRB has caused me. I'm proud of my experience and the family here who have shaped it. TLC has enriched my life and my relationships personally, professionally, and made my world a much happier place. And I look forward to next year, someone else standing up here sharing that same message about what TLC means to them and how it has made their lives better. So join us, donate if you can, and let's have a fabulous conference. I think Maddie has a few announcements as well.
Thank you, Michael. And your story is really powerful, and I really appreciate you sharing that with the community. And again, no donation is too big or too small. I want to say a few announcements. So we do have, for those who signed up for headshots or anyone who would like, we are offering the headshot like professional pictures. They are now available to be taken in the governor's room, which is also where the art room is. And the art room is also open now, and it will be open through 8 p.m. tonight, all the way, so through 8 p.m. today, and then from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. So that's also in the governor's room. Also in the governor's room is a hairstylist, and she is able to braid or style your hair or provide a consultation about hair care and all of that. She is unable to cut or blow dry hair at this time, but she is able to style or give you advice, consultation on your hair. Final announcement is for any speakers who are leaving early from the conference, please come to the registration table after lunch. Thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your conference.